Hello, Mike Bradley. I hope you are doing well as always, and welcome to my OnlyFans. I'm joking, but welcome to the floor of my home studio, I guess. And I wanted to talk about buffers because I've been doing a bit of reading, quite a bit of reading over the last week on buffers, because for quite a while now, the signal loss between going through my pedal board and my amp to just going direct into my amp has really been irking me. Let's go with that word. Really getting to me, really irking me. Especially when doing live gigs. The treble loss and the volume loss is incredibly noticeable to me, to the point where I'm playing and it's just constantly on my mind. But the idea of paying up to £1,000 for like a switcher, and it's not just a switcher, it's the power supplies, it's all these other variables that we need to get kind of clean power. I'm just like, I don't want to pay that amount of money for it. Because when I think back to my very early years of playing, and I would just use a wah-wah pedal and an overdrive pedal and got most of the distortion from the amp, I was like, well, probably that was my better tone. But I do like modulation. I like, you know, different drive sounds and delays and things like that. But at the same time, I'm thinking maybe trim it back. But buffers seem to be a big way forward. Now, I've got camera 2 here, hello, and just so we can kind of see the board. And then we have this little rascal, okay? Actually, let me just unplug this. So this here is the JHS little black buffer box. I want to say this is not sponsored or anything like that. JHS have not sent this to me for free. I bought this. If you saw my Instagram the other day, I put it on there. But this seemed to be kind of a reasonably priced one. I think I got it from Peach Guitars for about £79, I think it was, something like that. I'll put a link below if you want to check it out. Any links below, I should say, are affiliate links. And if you click anything from anything down there, I get a little cut back, which helps the channel. So if you want to support me, that's a really good way of doing it. But yeah, so I bought this the other day, and what I'm kind of have been reading, and you may know about this, and if you know more about buffers, I expect than me, please let me know in the comment section below what your views are and stuff like that. But it turns out, it seems you want a good buffer going early in the signal, and then at the output as well. Now, on my pedal board, here's my pedal board. If you've been a follower for me for a while, not much has changed. I've got the mini spark boost, the dualist, the big tone King Fuzz, which is one of my favourite overdrive pedals, the Chrono delay from Providence, TC Hall of Fame, Phase 90, chorus, tuner, wah, and signal chain goes wah into spark, spark to dualist, dualist to king tone to Phase 90, Phase 90 to chorus, chorus to delay, delay, tuner, tuner to amp. I am going to be doing a change up, actually, probably later on today. I'm going to be putting the Phase 90 before the overdrives, because I prefer the sounds of a Phase 90 before the drives. I don't think it's not quite as prominent. If you think Van Halen, he had it going into a cranked Marshall, so he would have had it before the overdrive. Having it after the overdrive I think it's just a little too strident in sound. So yeah, I'm going to experiment and put this before the overdrives, but we'll leave that later on. So with a buffer, obviously I've got my buffer output in the tuner. So those who don't know, most Boss pedals have a buffer in it. So I've always had my tuner at the end of the line. Some people have it at the end, some people have it at the beginning. But in this case, look how knackered that Boss pedal is as well. It's been, I found that at a gig probably about 13, 14 years ago, and it's been with me ever since. So obviously I've got, this is a Boss pedal as well, so technically that's buffered, but I'm going to be having my JHS little black buffer, and I'm going to be having that after the wah, because wah pedals are I think are they high impedance pedals, aren't they? So that you don't really want to be putting a buffer before the wah pedal. So I'm going to have the wah going into the buffer and then going for everything else, and at the end be coming out of the tuner, which is buffered as well. So we've got buffered in, buffered out. So I've got it a couple of days ago, and I was, you know, kind of strumming an E chord and A chord in here. I was just using my Duke tone amp and kind of going back and forth. So I thought I want to hear it recorded to see if there's a big difference there. I should say, actually, before I go any further, I reckon there's about 30 to 40% difference. You get 30 to 40% signal back, which is a good thing. But I wanted to see if there's a difference, if that 30-40% difference is noticeable when recording. So I've got my Hampstead head over there going into a 2 notes Captor, Torpedo Captor X into Logic. So I thought I will strum some chords going directly into the amp, and then strum the same chords going in the board but with the buffer engaged. And let's see if there's a difference. Actually, what I'll do, I'll do amp and then the pedal board, so you can hear that, just playing E and A, and then I'll do amp, pedal board, buffer, and then amp and buffered. All right, so you can really hear the difference. And I'll be playing a couple of chords so we get an idea. So let's do that. So that was interesting. In the room, I could definitely hear when the buffer was on the board, a bit more the zinginess had come back. I will listen to it when I edit the video and watch it back with you. So what are you thinking so far? Now what I might just do, I mentioned that the King Fuzz pedal, which is this one right here, I said about that being one of my favourite kind of overdrive pedals. So what I thought, I'll turn that on and I'll do some sounds going straight into the board just with that on, and then I'll do some sounds, similar sounds, but with the buffer in front of it to see if there's a difference there regarding drive. So, what did you think? I tried playing the same thing each time, even though it's just a few chords. It was hard remembering what I actually did, but hopefully you got a good idea there. I will hear this back when I edit it and kind of watch the full video back, just like you are. So like I said, it'd be interesting to know your comments and thoughts. In the room, it was a big difference. I thought in the room, when I had the buffer back in, it was like a bit more life. Like I said earlier, that 30 to 40% kind of treble and volume is just kind of boosted back. Thank you, email. It's not exactly the same as when you plug straight in. So in the first kind of comparison, when I was going straight into the amp, it's not the full 100% back, having, well, two buffers, I guess, isn't it? You know, buffered in and buffered out. But there is definitely some of the loss is given back there. So I think it was £80 well spent on my part there. I recommend it. Like I said, this is not sponsored. I don't think JHS even know who I am. But I thought it was definitely a difference, and it will be going on the board. And because it's quite small, I'm going to put it under the board because the light is on all the time, and the light can be quite annoying. Obviously I understand why it's there, to show you it's on, but I don't want that glaring at me, so I want to put it under the board. So keep an eye on Instagram. I'll post some pictures up with the new board layout or something at some point. Like I said, I'm gonna move my Phase 90 earlier on in the chain as well. But buffers, it seems like they are important, especially if you, I mean, how many pedals I've got here? Well, I've just taken one off. I've taken, actually she's a bit of a sorry one, I've taken the pedal pawn off for the moment. I did a video probably a year ago. I'll put a link up there so you can check it out. And I really like this fuzz pedal, even though my knob is missing. Mainly because I haven't got, I might have to daisy chain, and I needed a 9-volt lead off the power supply to power the buffer. And also I'm just trying to get pedals down a bit. So at the moment now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so obviously 10 was with the fuzz, but yeah, I want to get it down a little bit. So I'll be keeping that off for the moment, but we'll put it on another board at some point, I'm sure. Or it may go back. That's the beauty of pedal boards. We can swap and change as we will, you know. So, but yeah, hopefully this has been helpful. If you've heard about buffers, and you know, this is the kind of layman's terms way of looking at it. You know, you definitely want a buffered in and you want a buffered out. And if you've got a Boss tuner pedal, for instance, I'm pretty sure all Boss pedals have buffers in it. Of course, you could, you know, have the first one being a Boss pedal and a Boss out. But of course, just like with guitars or guitar leads or anything, you know, there's a reason why you can get a £10 buffer and maybe a £400 buffer. You know what I mean? So I thought, you know, I mean, that's why I've never been a massive fan of like big multi-effects pedals, because I like a pedal to be good at one thing and to do that job really well. So that's why I thought it'd be good to have a designated proper buffered pedal at the beginning, and then my tuner can be the buffered out, you know. So maybe at some point I'll get another JHS little black box. I'll get another one of them to go out as well. But for the moment, I'm quite happy with that. So anyway, love to know your thoughts, and thank you for your love and support. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit that like button as well. It all helps. Hope you're very good and well, and I'll see you in the next video. Mike Bradley very much signing out. Bye.